Good morning. I'm Father Rayappa from Ekattupudi village, Vellore, India. It's so hot, hot sun today, but it's beautiful. So I'm going to read paragraph number 152 from Laudato Si, Pope Francis's encyclical on ecology and environment. Lack of housing is a grave problem in many parts of the world, both in rural areas and in large cities, since state budgets usually cover only a small portion of the demand. Not only the poor, but many other members of society as well find it difficult to own a home. Having a home has much to do with a sense of personal dignity and the growth of families. This is a major issue for human ecology. In some places where makeshift shanty towns have sprung up, this will mean developing those neighborhoods rather than raising or displacing them. When the poor live in unsanitary slums or in dangerous tenements, in cases where it is necessary to relocate them in order not to heap suffering upon suffering, adequate information needs to be given beforehand, with choices of decent housing offered, and the people directly involved must be part of the process. At the same time, creativity should be shown in integrating run-down neighborhoods into a welcoming city. How beautiful those cities which overcome paralyzing mistrust, integrate those who are different, and make this very integration a new factor of development. How attractive are those cities which, even in their architectural design, are full of spaces which connect, relate, and favor the recognition of others. Brilliant writing. Pope is talking about housing, providing a home for everybody. You see, this planet is big enough to provide a home for everyone. And birds have their own home. Amphibians, of course, they have their own home. Reptiles, they have their home. And mammals, yeah. Even fish, they have their own home. Microscopic bacteria under the soil, they have their own home. How come humans, they are without homes? Jesus observes so beautifully. Look at the foxes. They have home. They got layers. And only Jesus didn't have home. So we can take it as a spirituality. The people those who don't have a home, we can preach a sermon of accepting that reality. And Jesus didn't have a home, and so it's a Jesus spirituality. You can do some theology out of it. We can do anything. But what Pope is trying to tell is, this planet Earth is big enough. There are resources, and we can provide a home to every family, because it's about human dignity he's talking about. It is part of human ecology. You feel self-esteem, and I have got something, and I'm not without anything, because planet Earth is so generous. Mother Earth is so benevolent, and people should have their own home. So that is Pope Francis's wish. I think we can discuss about it, dialogue with it. Especially in India, there are so many people homeless, especially slums, and all those run-down neighborhoods. Nothing is there. Everything is stripped off, smell, filth. So in Chennai, as I told you, 18 to 20 million people live in Chennai. There are slums there. And government is trying to build small houses for them. So I have to appreciate government. But government also can't do. There are 20 million people, means how can they build house for everyone? Of course, they can build houses for some. Always government also should have funds, and they are limited funds. But I think government can open new avenues or new developmental plans to provide homes for everybody instead of raising them up or destroying the slum neighborhoods. Let us transform them. And it is not encroachment. Who can call encroachment? Every human being has a right to live somewhere. Nobody is encroaching. And wherever they live, let us transform them instead of uprooting them, kicking them out. And that is the human ecology. And if you could dig deep inside of your own resources, empathy, compassion, kindness, I think everything is possible. Transformation is possible. So Pope Francis is writing so beautifully, and also he calls that house is a very, very important factor for human beings, and transform the dilapidated neighborhoods and rundown neighborhoods, and let us transform them. So housing and transformation of slum areas is very important. I think Laudato Si is calling for action. So thank you, and please read paragraph number 152. And may God bless you, and take care, and I'll see you soon.